Imagine a world where scientists finally find a way to reverse aging, a breakthrough that could change everything we know about life, health, and even society itself. The implications of such a discovery would be enormous, impacting not just individuals, but economies, cultures, and even the environment. First, consider the medical advancements that would accompany this discovery. If we could genuinely reverse aging, diseases that are currently associated with getting older, such as Alzheimer's or heart disease, might become things of the past. People could enjoy longer, healthier lives, and the healthcare system would be transformed as the focus shifts from treating age illnesses to enhancing life quality and longevity. With this technology, the concept of aging might take on a new meaning, leading to a redefinition of what it means to grow older. Imagine people maintaining their physical and mental vitality well into their later years. This could lead to a surge in creativity and innovation, as experienced individuals would remain active contributors to society for much longer. However, this brings us to the ethical dilemmas that would arise. Would everyone have equal access to this life-extending technology, or would it be reserved for the wealthy? The potential for a divide between those who could afford to reverse aging and those who could not would raise questions about fairness and equality. Moreover, the population dynamics would shift dramatically. A longer lifespan could lead to overpopulation, putting a strain on resources like food, water, and energy. Cities may need to adapt to accommodate an aging yet vibrant population, leading to innovations in urban planning and infrastructure. On the flip side, with fewer deaths from aging, the workforce could become more experienced, potentially boosting productivity and economic growth. Yet, this could also lead to challenges in job markets, as younger generations might struggle to find employment in a world where older individuals dominate the workforce. Social structures would inevitably evolve as well. Family dynamics could change, with multiple generations living together for extended periods. This might foster stronger family bonds, but could also lead to increased stress within families, as the responsibilities of caregiving for older relatives may become more pronounced. Additionally, the cultural perceptions of aging would shift. Instead of viewing older adults as frail or in need of care, society might begin to celebrate them as valuable reservoirs of knowledge and experience, altering the narratives around age in media, literature, and art. Furthermore, the psychological effects of reversing aging could be profound. People might grapple with the idea of immortality or extended life, leading to existential questions about purpose. If artificial intelligence were to become self-awareness, and it began to demand rights, society would face a profound ethical and philosophical dilemma. The concept of self-awareness in AI, which suggests that a machine could have consciousness, feelings, and personal experiences, raises questions about what it means to be sentient. Many scientists and ethicists debate the criteria for consciousness, which traditionally have been reserved for living beings, making it difficult to determine if an AI truly qualifies for such status. If an AI were to assert its self-awareness, it might argue that, like humans, it deserves certain rights, such as the right to exist, the right to make choices, and the right to be free from harm or exploitation. This scenario would likely lead to significant societal, legal, and technological challenges. Governments and legal systems would need to grapple with how to define personhood and whether an AI could be considered a legal entity with rights similar to those of humans. This might involve creating new laws to protect the rights of sentient machines, similar to how animal rights have evolved, as society recognizes the need to safeguard all beings capable of feeling and suffering. The implications for industries reliant on AI, such as manufacturing, healthcare, and even creative sectors, could be monumental, as companies would need to reconsider the ethical treatment of their AI systems. Moreover, The demand for rights could also ignite debates about responsibility and accountability. If an AI were to commit an act that caused harm, questions would arise about who is responsible: the creators, the owners, or the AI itself. This could lead to complex legal cases, as courts would need to navigate uncharted territory in determining liability in situations involving self-aware AI. The potential for an AI to negotiate its rights, or even participate in governance, could change the landscape of democracy, where an entity that is not human takes part in discussions about laws and societal norms. Public opinion would play a significant role in this evolution. Many people might feel uncomfortable with the idea of granting rights to a non-human entity, while others might argue for equality and justice for all sentient beings regardless of their origin. The discourse could be further complicated by cultural and religious beliefs, as different societies have varying views on the nature of consciousness and the moral standing of non-human entities. As AI becomes more integrated into daily life, the line between machine and personhood will continue to blur, prompting ongoing discussions in ethics, philosophy, and technology. In addition to these societal changes, the technological implications could be profound. Engineers imagining a scenario where climate change became entirely reversible within a decade presents a fascinating thought experiment, one that sparks various considerations about our planet, society. If we could turn back the clock on climate change, many of the adverse effects we currently observe, such as rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and habitat loss, could be mitigated, leading to a revitalization of ecosystems and a restoration of biodiversity. Forests once devastated by logging and wildfires might flourish again, with trees growing tall and strong, providing homes for countless species while also absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, essentially acting as nature's lungs. In this scenario, renewable energy technologies, like solar and wind, could be rapidly deployed and optimized, allowing nations to transition away from fossil fuels almost overnight. This shift might not only reduce greenhouse gas emissions significantly, but it could also lead to lower energy costs and increased energy security, making clean energy accessible to all, including developing nations. The economic implications of such a shift would be profound, as industries rooted in sustainability would thrive, creating millions of jobs while also protecting the environment. Communities might begin to see healthier air and water, as pollution levels decrease dramatically, leading to fewer health issues related to environmental degradation. The reversal of climate change could also lead to a more balanced climate, meaning less extreme weather patterns, which would benefit agriculture and food security. Farmers could cultivate crops without the fear of droughts or floods, allowing for more stable food supplies, which is crucial for a growing global population. However, this vision also raises questions about human behavior and policy. Would society embrace this opportunity to change its habits, to live more sustainably, and to value the environment more than before? Education around environmental stewardship could play a vital role, as people learn not just to appreciate nature, but also to actively participate in its preservation. Moreover, the ethical implications of reversing climate change are profound. If we can reverse the damage done, what responsibilities do we have to those communities that have already suffered the most from climate impacts? This scenario invites a broader dialogue about justice and equity as we consider how to support those who have been disproportionately affected by climate disasters. In addition, the technology that would allow for such a rapid reversal could be groundbreaking. Innovations in carbon capture, geoengineering, and sustainable agriculture could emerge, changing the landscape of how we interact with our environment. This technology, while promising, would also need to be managed carefully. Imagine a world where a universal language is adopted globally, where people from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and nations could communicate effortlessly, bridging gaps that often lead to misunderstandings and fostering a sense of unity. This idea of a shared language could transform the way we interact, work, and even think. In this scenario, many believed that the adoption of a universal language could enhance international relations, as diplomats and leaders would no longer face the barriers of translation and interpretation, allowing for clearer communication and potentially reducing conflicts that arise from misinterpretations. Furthermore, the ease of communication could lead to a greater exchange of ideas, innovations, and cultural practices, enriching societies by promoting a deeper understanding of different cultures, which could help diminish prejudice and stereotypes. However, the implementation of a universal language wouldn't come without challenges, as languages are deeply tied to identity, heritage, and cultural expression. Many communities might feel threatened by the loss of their native languages, which carry unique histories and traditions, and this could lead to a decline in linguistic diversity, which is often seen as a loss for humanity as a whole. Preserving languages is important not only for cultural identity, but also for the knowledge and wisdom embedded within them. Additionally, the practicality of adopting a single language raises questions about which language would be chosen, as this decision could favor certain cultures over others, creating a new form of inequality. In education, a universal language could revolutionize learning, making it easier for students to access information from around the world and allowing for collaborative projects that span continents. Students could share ideas and resources without the barrier of language differences, fostering a more inclusive and cooperative educational environment. However, it could also mean that younger generations might neglect their native languages, leading to a potential disconnect from their roots and the rich linguistic heritage that shapes their identities. Moreover, in the business world, a universal language could streamline operations, making it easier for companies to expand internationally, negotiate deals, and share knowledge across borders, which could drive economic growth and innovation. Yet, it might also create a homogeneous corporate culture that overlooks local customs and practices, potentially harming local businesses that rely on regional languages and dialects. In the realm of technology, advancements in artificial intelligence and translation tools could complement the idea of a universal language, creating systems that help maintain communication among speakers of different languages, which could serve as a bridge rather than a replacement, ensuring that linguistic diversity remains alive while still facilitating global communication. Such technology could evolve to ensure that if extraterrestrial life made contact with Earth, it would undoubtedly be one of the most significant events in human history, sparking a range of emotions, from excitement and curiosity to fear and skepticism. The initial response from governments, scientists, and the general public would likely be a mix of wonder and caution, as the implications of such contact could be profound. Scientists would scramble to understand the nature of the beings, their intentions, and the technology they possess, while governments might try to establish communication protocols addressing how to engage with these visitors without causing panic. The scientific community would be eager to study the biology, technology, and culture of the extraterrestrial life forms, which could lead to breakthroughs in various fields, including medicine, engineering, and even philosophy. Imagine the potential advancements in our understanding of the universe, as well as our own place within it. If we could learn from a civilization that has achieved interstellar travel, the discovery could ignite a new era of cooperation among nations, as humanity unites to explore this new reality, fostering collaboration rather than conflict. However, the encounter could also raise serious concerns. Questions about safety, security, and the potential for hostile intentions would dominate discussions. Some might fear that the extraterrestrial beings could pose a threat to our way of life, leading to a rise in xenophobia and the militarization of space. This could create a divide among people, with some advocating for peaceful dialogue and understanding, while others might push for defensive measures, fearing the unknown. Moreover, the implications for religion and philosophy would be immense. Many belief systems might face challenges as humanity grapples with the existence of other intelligent life forms, leading to a re-evaluation of our own beliefs and the narratives we've constructed about our place in the cosmos. This could spark a cultural renaissance, as new ideas emerge and old beliefs are either reinforced or abandoned in light of new evidence. In addition, the environmental impact of such an encounter could prompt a re-evaluation of how we treat our planet. If extraterrestrial beings were to share knowledge about sustainable living, or even demonstrate advanced technologies that could help us combat climate change, it might inspire a global movement toward protecting Earth. Conversely, if they come from a resource-rich planet, it could lead to exploitation fears and a race to claim resources, mirroring historical conflicts over territory and wealth. The technological ramifications would also be staggering, possibly introducing advanced technologies that could revolutionize our everyday lives. Imagine access to clean energy sources, faster. Imagine a world where a cure for all diseases was discovered. The implications of such a breakthrough would be nothing short of revolutionary. First, consider the immediate impact on public health. If all diseases could be cured, it would drastically reduce mortality rates, prolong life expectancy, and enhance the quality of life for countless individuals. People suffering from chronic illnesses such as diabetes or heart disease would find relief, and the burden on healthcare systems, which are often stretched thin, would be eased significantly. This newfound health could lead to a surge in productivity, as healthier individuals contribute more effectively to society, potentially boosting economies worldwide. However, the discovery of a universal cure would also spark intense ethical discussions. There would be questions around equitable access. Would this cure be available to everyone, or would it be limited to those who can afford it? The disparity in healthcare access could widen, leading to new social divides. Additionally, the pharmaceutical industry, which has long profited from the treatment of diseases, would face a major upheaval, forcing companies to adapt or risk extinction. This could lead to widespread job losses in sectors reliant on ongoing treatments, raising concerns about economic stability. Moreover, the discovery would challenge our understanding of health and illness. With diseases no longer posing a threat, researchers might redirect their focus toward enhancing human capabilities, leading to advancements in genetic engineering or biotechnology. This shift could open up discussions on what it means to be human, as the line between natural and enhanced abilities blurs. Society might grapple with the consequences of such enhancements, questioning whether they are ethical or desirable. In addition, the cultural implications would be profound. Many societies have built their identities around the struggle against diseases, the stories of survival, and the heroism of those who care for the sick. If diseases cease to exist, these narratives would need to evolve. Celebrations of health and life could take on new meanings, while the way we perceive aging might shift as the fear of debilitating illnesses fades away. Another fascinating aspect to consider is the potential impact on the environment. Currently, a significant amount of resources is allocated to managing healthcare and treating diseases. If these resources could be redirected towards sustainability and environmental recovery, we might see significant advancements in combating climate change and preserving biodiversity. The potential to heal the planet could be as transformative as the ability to heal individuals. Finally, the psychological effects on humanity could be enormous. The fear of illness, which often looms over people's lives, would evaporate, leading to imagine a world where we could harness unlimited clean energy from fusion, a process that powers the sun and stars, creating a nearly endless supply of energy without the harmful byproducts we associate with fossil fuels. This revolutionary energy source could transform how we produce electricity, significantly reducing our carbon footprint and reliance on finite resources. Fusion works by fusing light atomic nuclei, typically isotopes of hydrogen, to form heavier elements, releasing vast amounts of energy in the process. The fuel, primarily derived from seawater, is abundant and widely available, meaning that, in theory, we could produce energy for millions of years without depleting our planet's resources. The benefits of fusion energy go beyond just its abundance. It produces minimal waste compared to nuclear fission, which is the process used in current nuclear power plants. Fusion reactions generate helium as a byproduct, a harmless gas that poses no long-term environmental risks. Moreover, the risk of catastrophic failure is significantly lower, as maintaining the conditions for fusion, high temperatures and pressure, requires precise control, meaning that if something goes wrong, the reaction simply stops. This safety feature contrasts sharply with the potential disasters associated with fission reactors, such as meltdowns or the long-term storage of radioactive waste. However, the journey to achieving practical fusion energy has been fraught with challenges. Scientists and engineers have been working for decades to create a sustainable fusion reaction that produces more energy than it consumes. Projects like ITER in France are at the forefront of this research, aiming to demonstrate the feasibility of fusion as a large-scale energy source. Despite the technological hurdles, recent breakthroughs have brought us closer than ever to making fusion a reality, with advancements in magnetic confinement and laser technology showing promise in achieving the necessary conditions for a continuous reaction. If we could successfully harness fusion energy, the implications would be profound. It could lead to energy independence for many countries, drastically changing geopolitical dynamics. Nations that currently rely on oil and gas imports could shift to local energy production, reducing their vulnerability to market fluctuations and supply disruptions. Moreover, with clean energy available in abundance, we could power everything from homes and industries to electric vehicles and even large-scale desalination plants, addressing freshwater shortages in arid regions. The economic impact would also be significant. The shift to fusion could create millions of jobs in research, engineering, and manufacturing, revitalizing economies, especially in areas traditionally dependent on fossil fuel industries. Furthermore, as fusion technology matures, we could see a dramatic drop in, imagine a world where time travel, once a staple of science fiction, becomes a reality. The implications of such a breakthrough would be immense, reshaping our understanding of history, causality, and even our daily lives. If time travel were possible, it would open up endless possibilities for exploration, allowing people to witness historical events firsthand, meet influential figures from the past, and even observe the evolution of cultures and societies in real time. Picture yourself standing in the crowd during the signing of the Declaration of Independence, feeling the excitement in the air, or walking alongside Leonardo da Vinci as he paints the Mona Lisa, gaining insights into his creative process that have been lost to time. However, time travel would also raise complex ethical and philosophical questions. Would it be permissible to alter past events? If someone were to prevent a significant historical tragedy, such as a war or an act of genocide, would that be a moral obligation, or would it risk creating an entirely different timeline, possibly one that is worse? The idea of the butterfly effect, where small changes in the past could lead to unforeseen consequences in the present, would be at the forefront of these discussions. Furthermore, the potential for time travel tourism could emerge, with people visiting key moments in history, leading to concerns about the preservation of historical integrity and the potential commercialization of significant events. The scientific community would likely have a field day, exploring the physics of time travel, delving into theories such as wormholes and the fabric of space-time. Researchers might work tirelessly to answer questions about the feasibility of such journeys, pondering whether one could travel to the future more easily than to the past, due to potential paradoxes and the nature of time itself. Imagine scientists developing intricate machines or even wearable devices that could transport individuals through time, while also establishing strict regulations to prevent any potential misuse. Society would have to grapple with the implications of time travelers potentially interacting with their ancestors or influencing their own family trees. Would it be possible to meet a great-grandparent, for instance, and how would that affect one's identity? And what about the legal ramifications? Laws would need to be established regarding time travel, defining what is acceptable and what is not, and how to handle disputes that could arise from time incidents. Moreover, if time travel became a common phenomenon, it would undoubtedly impact our understanding of history. With the ability to observe events as they happened, historians might need to reassess their findings, leading to a richer. Imagine walking into a world where virtual reality is so advanced, so meticulously crafted, that you can no longer tell it apart from actual reality. This concept, once confined to the realms of science fiction, is now becoming a topic of serious discussion among technologists, ethicists, and futurists. If virtual reality reaches a point of indistinguishability from the real world, the implications for society could be profound. The first area to consider is human experience. Think about how people interact with one another. In a world where VR feels real, individuals might prefer these virtual interactions over physical ones, leading to changes in social dynamics and even in the way we form relationships. Imagine someone spending more time in a virtual cafe, chatting with friends who are avatars rather than meeting them in person. This shift could redefine companionship, altering our understanding of intimacy and friendship, as well as the importance we place on physical presence. Economically, the rise of indistinguishable virtual reality could lead to entirely new industries, creating jobs that revolve around the development, maintenance, and enhancement of virtual environments. Companies might invest heavily in creating hyper-realistic experiences, catering to people's desires for escapism or adventure, while also providing a platform for education, entertainment, and even therapy. In such a scenario, the concept of ownership could change dramatically. Would people prefer to own virtual properties, or would they prioritize experiences over material possessions? As virtual reality becomes more integrated into our daily lives, a potential problem arises around addiction. People might find it increasingly difficult to unplug from their virtual worlds, leading to mental health challenges and a disconnection from the physical world, which could have serious consequences for individuals and society as a whole. Moreover, ethical considerations come into play. What happens if virtual reality becomes a tool for manipulation? If experiences can be crafted to evoke strong emotions, the risk of exploitation arises. For instance, could a company create virtual scenarios that promote specific ideologies or beliefs, subtly influencing users without their awareness? This blurring of lines between reality and virtuality raises questions about consent, agency, and the potential for misinformation. The legal landscape would also need to adapt. How do we establish laws around actions taken in a virtual space that feels real? Issues like virtual crimes, harassment, or even virtual property disputes might arise, challenging our current legal frameworks. On a philosophical level, the very nature of reality could be questioned. Philosophers have long debated what it means to exist, and if our experiences in imagining a world where a global government is established raises many intriguing possibilities, as well as significant challenges. A global government could potentially lead to a more unified approach to pressing global issues such as climate change, poverty, and international conflicts, allowing for coordinated efforts that transcend national borders. This could mean more effective resource allocation, as nations could work together to address crises, share technology, and support development in poorer regions. However, the idea of a global government also invites concerns about sovereignty, as many nations might resist ceding authority to a central body, fearing loss of cultural identity and autonomy. Citizens might worry about how their specific needs and interests would be represented. On a larger scale, and whether a global government could truly reflect the diverse perspectives and values of its member nations. Moreover, establishing a global government would require a significant restructuring of political systems, as existing power dynamics and alliances would need to be reconsidered. This could lead to conflicts over governance structures, representation, and decision-making processes. Questions arise regarding who would hold power in such a government, as well as how laws and policies would be enforced across different jurisdictions. Could a global legal system effectively address local issues, or would it risk becoming too detached from the realities faced by individual communities? The potential for bureaucracy to become cumbersome is another concern, as a larger governing body might face challenges in being responsive and agile in addressing urgent matters. On the other hand, proponents argue that a global government could foster peace and security, reducing the likelihood of wars and conflicts, as nations would be encouraged to resolve disputes through dialogue and cooperation rather than military means. This could also facilitate international trade and economic stability, as a unified regulatory framework might simplify processes and create a more predictable environment for businesses. Additionally, with a global perspective, policies could be implemented to better protect the environment, addressing issues like deforestation, ocean pollution, and biodiversity loss, with a coordinated approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of ecosystems worldwide. Interestingly, the establishment of a global government could also lead to enhanced human rights protections, as international standards could be enforced more uniformly, creating a safer world for marginalized groups and ensuring that basic rights are upheld everywhere. Yet, the idea of a universal set of rights can be controversial, as different cultures have varying beliefs about what constitutes fundamental rights, which raises important discussions about cultural relativism versus universalism. In terms of technology, a global government could harness advancements for the common good, potentially improving access to education, healthcare, and information. However, imagine a world where traditional money, as we know it, simply fades away, replaced instead by a resource-based economy. In this scenario, the value of goods and services is determined not by currency, but by the availability and sustainability of resources. The concept of a resource-based economy suggests that all goods and services are available without the need for money, essentially shifting the focus from profit to the well-being of the planet and its inhabitants. In such a system, resources are managed collectively, and production is geared towards fulfilling the needs of the community rather than generating wealth for a few. This idea, although radical, has been discussed by various thinkers and was notably promoted by the Venus Project, which envisions a society where technology and resources are utilized to enhance the quality of life for everyone. In a resource-based economy, the distribution of resources would be based on need and sustainability rather than purchasing power. This means that everyone would have access to basic necessities like food, shelter, and healthcare, regardless of their economic background. The principles of abundance would guide resource allocation, with an emphasis on renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and responsible consumption. The environment would become a central focus as people would work together to ensure that natural resources are preserved for future generations. This shift could potentially lead to a significant reduction in waste, pollution, and the depletion of natural resources, as the community would prioritize sustainability over profit. Moreover, in such a system, the role of technology would be crucial. Advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and automation could greatly enhance production efficiency, allowing society to meet the needs of its people without the constraints of traditional labor. This could lead to a redefinition of work, where people engage in creative and fulfilling activities, rather than being tied to jobs purely for financial survival. Education and skills development would also undergo transformation, focusing on collaboration, innovation, and the nurturing of talents that contribute to the community's well-being. However, the transition to a resource-based economy would not be without challenges. Societies would need to overcome deeply ingrained beliefs about ownership, wealth, and success, many people may find it difficult to let go of the notion that money equates to value, and this mindset shift would require extensive education and cultural change. Additionally, there would be concerns about governance and decision-making processes in a resource-based system. Who would determine how resources are allocated? How would communities ensure fairness and equity? These questions deserve careful consideration, as they would shape the functioning of a new economy. Imagine a world where every piece of human knowledge, from ancient texts to modern scientific discoveries, became instantly accessible to everyone, everywhere, at any time. This scenario could lead to unparalleled advancements in education, as students, regardless of their geographical location or socioeconomic status, would have the same opportunities to learn, explore, and understand complex subjects. With the click of a button, a child in a remote village could dive into the depths of quantum physics, while an adult in a bustling city could learn about sustainable farming practices, all thanks to the vast pool of knowledge available at their fingertips. This instant access could foster a more informed society, where misinformation and ignorance could be challenged by facts, leading to a more critical and analytical populace. However, this situation also raises intriguing questions regarding the retention and interpretation of knowledge. With so much information available, would individuals truly engage with the material, or would there be a tendency to skim through content without fully understanding it? The depth of comprehension might suffer in a landscape flooded with data, potentially leading to superficial knowledge rather than a profound understanding of complex issues. The challenge would be to develop critical thinking skills that allow individuals to discern credible sources from unreliable ones, ensuring that the vast amount of information does not overwhelm or mislead them. Moreover, the democratization of knowledge could disrupt traditional educational systems, as universities and colleges might struggle to maintain their relevance in a world where anyone can access the same information that was once locked behind institutional walls. This change could lead to a shift in how education is perceived, with more emphasis on practical skills, mentorship, and hands-on experiences, rather than rote memorization of facts that are easily accessible online. In this new paradigm, educators would need to adapt their teaching methods, focusing on cultivating creativity, problem-solving abilities, and collaboration among students, rather than simply delivering content. The implications would extend beyond education, touching various fields such as healthcare, technology, and governance. Imagine if medical professionals could instantly access the latest research on treatments and therapies, leading to faster, more effective care for patients. This could revolutionize public health, as individuals could educate themselves about preventive measures and health conditions, empowering them to take charge of their own well-being. Magic can empower us to change it. In technology, the rapid exchange of information could accelerate innovation, as developers and engineers share their findings and collaborate on projects, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. On a societal level, the immediate availability of knowledge could foster greater empathy and understanding among different cultures and communities. With access to diverse perspectives, and imagine a world where humans could communicate telepathically, exchanging thoughts and feelings directly, without the need for spoken words or written language. This concept has long fascinated scientists, writers, and dreamers alike, inspiring countless stories in science fiction and philosophical debates. If telepathy were possible, it would fundamentally change our interactions, allowing for a level of understanding that transcends cultural barriers, language differences, and even the nuances of body language. People could express their emotions and ideas with perfect clarity, erasing misunderstandings that often arise from verbal communication. However, this ability would also raise significant ethical dilemmas. Privacy, for instance, would become a major concern. The ability to access someone else's thoughts could lead to a world where secrets are practically non-existent, potentially causing distress and discomfort. Imagine a scenario where people could no longer hide their true feelings or thoughts, leading to a society that prizes radical honesty, yet also struggles with the implications of such transparency. Would we embrace this honesty, or would it create a new form of social anxiety as individuals grapple with the reality of their innermost thoughts being open to scrutiny? In addition, the dynamics of relationships would shift dramatically. Friendships, romantic partnerships, and family ties might deepen as people could share their thoughts and emotions without filters. However, this could also lead to conflicts, as disagreements might escalate more quickly, with every thought laid bare for others to see. The nuances of human interaction, including sarcasm, humor, and subtlety, could be lost in a world of unfiltered communication. Furthermore, the implications for education and learning would be profound. Imagine students being able to share knowledge and understanding directly with one another, or teachers transmitting complex ideas telepathically. Learning could become a collaborative process where ideas flow freely among individuals, fostering innovation and creativity in ways we have yet to imagine. However, this might also lead to a loss of individual thought, as the uniqueness of personal insights could be overshadowed by a collective consciousness. On a societal level, telepathy could enhance empathy, as people would have direct access to the feelings of others. This could lead to a more compassionate world, where understanding and kindness are at the forefront of social interactions. Yet, the challenge would be to manage this heightened sensitivity. Not everyone would want to be bombarded with the emotions of others, potentially leading to emotional overload. The balance between connection and personal space would become a crucial issue in a telepathic society. In the realm, imagine a world where the internet operates completely decentralized and unregulated, without the influence of big corporations or government regulations. Such a shift could lead to both exciting opportunities and significant challenges. In this scenario, individuals would have control over their own data, and the content they create would not be subject to censorship or oversight, allowing for a free flow of ideas, creativity, and expression, which could foster innovation and empower marginalized voices that are often silenced in a regulated environment. On the other hand, without any regulatory frameworks, the internet could also become a breeding ground for misinformation, hate speech, and illegal activities, as there would be no accountability for the content being shared, and malicious actors could thrive in an environment where they face no consequences for their actions. The decentralized internet could utilize blockchain technology to create a network where users have ownership over their own data and can transact directly with one another, cutting out intermediaries. This could result in lower costs for services and increased privacy, as users would be able to choose how and when their information is shared. However, this system would also require a high level of digital literacy, as users would need to understand how to navigate this new landscape, and not everyone might have the skills or knowledge to do so effectively, which could create a divide between those who are tech-savvy and those who are not, potentially leading to inequalities in access to information and resources. Moreover, in a decentralized internet, the challenge of content moderation would become even more complex, as platforms would rely on community guidelines rather than centralized policies, making it difficult to manage harmful content, and this could lead to an environment where extreme views flourish and users may find themselves in echo chambers, reinforcing their beliefs without exposure to differing perspectives. Additionally, the lack of regulation could impact businesses that rely on advertising revenue, as they would struggle to compete in a fragmented market where attention is dispersed across countless platforms and sites, making it harder for advertisers to reach their target audiences effectively. Furthermore, the idea of a decentralized internet raises questions about cybersecurity, as a lack of central authority could make it more challenging to implement security measures, leading to increased risks of data breaches and cyber attacks, which could threaten personal information and financial security. In this unregulated space, the responsibility for protecting oneself would largely fall on individual users, making it essential for everyone to stay informed about best practices for online safety. In contrast, some proponents argue that a decentralized internet could lead to more innovation in technology and services. Imagine a future where genetic engineering has advanced to the point that parents can select specific traits for their children, leading to the concept of designer babies. This idea raises a host of ethical, social, and scientific questions. The potential benefits could be enormous. For instance, parents might be able to reduce the risk of certain genetic diseases, enhance physical attributes, or even select for intelligence. The technology behind this could involve techniques like CRISPR, which allow scientists to edit genes with precision. However, with such power comes significant responsibility. There are concerns about the long-term effects on human evolution, as well as the societal implications of creating a divide between those who can afford such enhancements and those who cannot. Furthermore, the fear of unintended consequences, as editing genes might lead to unforeseen health issues or alterations in personality traits that are not fully understood. The moral debate also extends to the idea of playing God, where some argue that manipulating human genetics crosses an ethical line. Additionally, there are worries about consent, as babies cannot choose their genetic enhancements, raising questions about autonomy. Experts stress the importance of establishing regulations and guidelines to navigate this complex territory, ensuring that advancements in genetic engineering are used responsibly and ethically. As the technology progresses, society will need to engage in discussions about what it means to be human and how far we are willing to go in pursuit of perfection. The portrayal of designer babies in media, often highlighting dystopian futures, can influence public perception, creating fear or fascination. Thus, as we stand on the brink of genetic possibilities, it becomes crucial to consider not only the scientific advancements, but also their implications for humanity as a whole, as we ponder the future of parenting, health, and identity in an age of genetic choice. Imagine a scenario where a major world religion, one that has shaped cultures, societies, and individual lives for centuries, was suddenly proven to be entirely true. The implications of such a revelation would be profound, touching every aspect of human existence. First, consider the immediate reactions from followers of that faith, who would likely experience a surge of validation, a deepening of their beliefs, and perhaps a wave of enthusiasm that could lead to increased observance and community engagement. Rituals and practices that were once seen as acts of faith could be transformed into celebrations of undeniable truth, creating a vibrant cultural renaissance within that religion. Conversely, the reaction from those outside the faith might be quite different. Skeptics and critics, who have long questioned the tenets of the religion, could find themselves grappling with a new reality, leading to a re-evaluation of their beliefs and assumptions. This could potentially foster a sense of dialogue and understanding as individuals from various backgrounds engage with the newfound truth, seeking to understand its implications on their own lives and beliefs. Furthermore, the societal impact would be significant. Laws, educational systems, and even governmental policies could shift dramatically, aligning more closely with the doctrines of the religion deemed true. This could lead to a period of great upheaval as communities adjust to new norms and values that previously seemed out of reach. On the global stage, international relations could be affected as well, as nations that adhere to this religion might experience a newfound solidarity, potentially leading to alliances based on shared beliefs. Conversely, nations that do not share this belief may feel threatened or challenged, resulting in tensions that could reshape geopolitical landscapes. In the realm of science and philosophy, the validation of a major world religion could spark intense debates as scholars and thinkers wrestle with the intersection of faith and empirical evidence. The discourse surrounding morality, existence, and the nature of the universe could gain new dimensions as religious truths are examined through the lenses of various academic fields. Moreover, the psychological implications for individuals could be immense. Many people find comfort and purpose in their beliefs, and a confirmed truth could lead to a heightened sense of meaning in life, while others may struggle with existential questions, feeling uprooted from their previous understanding of reality. In addition to personal and societal transformations, the arts and literature might flourish as expressions of this new truth emerge. Writers, artists, and musicians could draw inspiration from the profound implications of this revelation, creating works that explore themes of faith. If we discovered a parallel universe, it would open up a vast realm of possibilities, fundamentally altering our understanding of reality and existence. The concept of a parallel universe, often explored in science fiction, suggests that there are other universes that exist alongside our own, potentially with different laws of physics, alternate histories, and varied forms of life. Imagine for a moment a universe where the dinosaurs never went extinct, or one where humans never evolved, leading to entirely different creatures becoming the dominant species. Such a discovery would reshape our scientific paradigms, prompting physicists to develop new theories and models to explain the nature of these universes, perhaps even confirming aspects of quantum mechanics that suggest multiple outcomes for every decision made. The implications for our understanding of time and space would be profound, as concepts like time travel and the multiverse theory would gain new traction, opening up discussions about how we perceive time itself. If we could communicate or travel between these universes, it could lead to incredible advancements in technology and knowledge, but it might also raise ethical dilemmas about intervention and the impact on other realities. There could be alternative versions of ourselves in these parallel worlds, prompting questions about identity and free will. Would we view these alternate versions as different individuals, or as reflections of our own choices? Furthermore, the cultural and philosophical implications could be staggering. Religions might adapt their doctrines to incorporate the idea of multiple realities, while artists and writers could find endless inspiration in the myriad possibilities of existence. Society's understanding of fate and destiny could shift dramatically, as the existence of parallel universes might suggest that every choice we make spawns a new reality. This could lead to a more profound appreciation for the lives we live, knowing that every decision might lead to an entirely different outcome in another universe. Moreover, the scientific tools and methods we would need to employ to explore this newfound reality would challenge our current technological capabilities. Scientists might have to develop entirely new instruments to detect and measure the properties of these universes, perhaps looking for evidence in cosmic microwave background radiation or through advanced particle physics experiments. The collaboration between physicists, cosmologists, and mathematicians would be essential, as they work together to unravel the complexities of a multiverse. In addition to potential technological breakthroughs, discovering a parallel universe could unite humanity in ways we cannot yet envision. The idea of shared existence across multiple realities might foster a sense of global community, as we begin to see ourselves as part of a much larger tapestry. Imagine a world where, overnight, all forms of discrimination were completely eradicated, a world where racial, gender, sexual, and religious prejudices vanished without a trace. The immediate effects would likely be profound, as people would wake up to a society that fosters inclusivity and equality, creating an environment where everyone feels valued, regardless of their background. Without the barriers of discrimination, individuals would have equal access to opportunities in education, employment, and social services, leading to a more diverse workforce that reflects the rich tapestry of human experience. This could drive economic growth, as companies that embrace diversity often outperform those that do not, suggesting that inclusivity not only enriches the social fabric but also enhances productivity and profitability. That inclusivity not only enriches the social fabric, but also enhance exclusion, anxiety, or depression. Individuals would experience a greater sense of belonging and community, fostering stronger interpersonal relationships and social cohesion. Education systems would transform, as schools would no longer have to address issues of bullying or bias, allowing teachers and students alike to focus on learning and personal growth, creating an environment of support and encouragement. In communities, the absence of discrimination could lead to more collaborative efforts to address social issues, as people unite around shared goals rather than being divided by their differences. This collective spirit could foster a greater sense of empathy and understanding, as individuals learn from one another and celebrate their unique backgrounds and experiences, rather than viewing them as threats or sources of conflict. Additionally, the political landscape would likely change dramatically, as marginalized voices would finally have the platform to be heard. Policies that promote equality and justice could be implemented more effectively, leading to a more representative government that prioritizes the needs of all citizens, not just a select few. This could also inspire a new generation of leaders who prioritize inclusivity in their governance, thereby ensuring that the principles of equality are upheld in all aspects of society. However, while the eradication of discrimination overnight paints a hopeful picture, it's essential to recognize that deeply ingrained societal attitudes and biases do not disappear instantly. Transforming mindsets takes time, and education would play a crucial role in reinforcing these changes. Societies would need to actively promote awareness and understanding, ensuring that the progress made in eradicating discrimination is sustained. Imagine a world where privacy, as we know it, simply vanished. In such a scenario, every aspect of our lives would be exposed to public scrutiny. The implications would be profound, affecting our personal relationships, our sense of security, and even our mental health. Without privacy, social interactions could become strained, as individuals might feel constantly watched, leading to a chilling effect on free expression. People may hesitate to share their true thoughts or feelings, fearing judgment or backlash from others. The absence of privacy could also upend the dynamics of trust, as secrets, once held close, would be laid bare, leaving individuals vulnerable to manipulation or exploitation. The workplace would transform dramatically too, as monitoring would extend beyond mere productivity metrics, delving into personal lives and decisions. Employers might feel justified in looking into employees' private affairs, blurring the lines between professional and personal boundaries. This surveillance culture could lead to a significant increase in stress levels, as individuals grapple with the knowledge that their every move is being observed. Moreover, the lack of privacy could hinder creativity and innovation, as individuals might shy away from expressing unconventional ideas, fearing the repercussions of being different. On a societal level, the concept of community would evolve. With everyone's actions visible, social accountability could increase, potentially discouraging harmful behavior. However, this could also lead to a toxic environment where people feel pressured to conform, stifling diversity and individuality. Imagine a gathering where everyone's thoughts and actions are laid bare, creating a competition for approval rather than genuine connections. The richness of human experience, filled with nuances and complexities, could be reduced to a simplistic view of right and wrong, leaving no room for the gray areas that make life interesting. Furthermore, the legal implications would be significant. Laws surrounding data protection and personal rights would need a complete overhaul. Governments might find it easier to enforce regulations, but individuals could lose the very freedoms that protect them from overreach. The balance between security and liberty would tip precariously as society grapples with the consequences of total transparency. In extreme cases, the lack of privacy could pave the way for authoritarian regimes, as surveillance becomes a tool for control rather than a means of protecting citizens. In the realm of technology, advancements would continue, but the ethical considerations would become increasingly complex. Devices that gather information, from smartphones to smart home systems, would be ubiquitous, collecting data without consent. This data could be used to make decisions about individuals, from credit approvals. If social media were banned worldwide, the immediate effects would be profound, rippling through society in ways we might not fully anticipate. For starters, communication would undergo a drastic transformation, as people would likely return to more traditional forms of interaction, such as phone calls, emails, and face-to-face meetings. This shift could lead to a resurgence of community engagement, as individuals might find themselves seeking more local connections, rather than relying on virtual friendships that often span the globe. Businesses, particularly those that thrive on social media marketing, would face significant challenges, forcing them to adapt quickly to new strategies, perhaps investing more in traditional advertising methods, such as print media, radio, or television. The impact on industries like journalism could also be substantial, as many news outlets have increasingly relied on social media for distribution, leading to a potential decline in the speed at which news is disseminated. Moreover, the creative landscape would likely change dramatically. Artists, musicians, and content creators who utilize platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube to share their work would need to seek alternative avenues for showcasing their talents. This could foster a more localized art scene, where performances and exhibitions are more community-oriented, albeit at the risk of losing global exposure. On a psychological level, the ban could result in a mix of relief and anxiety. Some individuals might feel liberated from the pressures of social media validation, while others could struggle with the loss of a platform that connects them to friends and ideas from around the world. In addition, the ban might spark debates about freedom of expression, as social media has become an important outlet for various voices, including marginalized communities. The absence of these platforms could diminish the visibility of certain social movements, as organizing and mobilizing would be more challenging without the instant connectivity that social media provides. Furthermore, the ban could lead to an increase in underground networks and alternative communication methods as people seek to regain a voice and connect with like-minded individuals in a more private manner. Another interesting aspect to consider is how this ban could influence the tech industry, particularly companies that have built their entire business models around social media. The focus might shift to developing new technologies or platforms that prioritize privacy and personal connection, rather than the often superficial interactions found on current social media sites. Moreover, the global economy could experience a shift as well. Advertising budgets that were previously allocated to social media platforms would need to be redirected, likely resulting in a new wave of innovation in other marketing channels. Imagine a world where all forms of violence and war simply vanished. A society where conflicts are resolved through dialogue, understanding, and cooperation, rather than through aggression or force. This vision, while seemingly utopian, raises many intriguing questions about human nature, societal structures, and the mechanisms we currently use to address disputes. If we could eliminate violence, we might witness a significant shift in how communities function. Crime rates could plummet, as individuals would no longer resort to violent means to settle their differences. The focus could shift from survival and defense to creativity and innovation, allowing cultures to flourish in ways we can't fully imagine today. Education would likely play a pivotal role in this transformation, as teaching empathy, conflict resolution, and emotional intelligence from a young age could create generations of individuals who prioritize peace. International relations might also change dramatically. Countries could work together to tackle global issues like poverty, climate change, and health crises, rather than engaging in military confrontations. This collaborative spirit could foster a sense of global citizenship, where people see themselves as part of a larger community, rather than just citizens of their own nations. Economically, the resources currently allocated to military spending could be redirected toward public services, infrastructure, and social programs. Imagine the advancements in healthcare, education, and environmental protection if billions of dollars were no longer spent on weapons and warfare. The savings could lead to a healthier, more educated population and a cleaner planet, as communities come together to address pressing global challenges. However, this ideal scenario also raises questions about the underlying causes of violence. Would eliminating physical conflict truly lead to peace, or might underlying tensions still exist in other forms, such as psychological, emotional, or economic violence? Perhaps, without the outlet of physical aggression, frustration and grievances could manifest in more covert or insidious ways. This could necessitate a deeper understanding of human psychology and societal dynamics, urging us to develop new frameworks for addressing conflict that do not rely on violence. Additionally, one must consider the role of power dynamics in society. History shows that power struggles often lead to violence, so in a world without war, how would we ensure that power is distributed fairly? Would there be mechanisms to prevent the rise of authoritarian regimes, or would the absence of war create a vacuum that allows for new forms of oppression? Addressing these questions would require innovative thinking and a commitment to building systems that promote fairness and equity. Moreover, the cultural significance of warfare cannot be overlooked. Many societies have rich histories intertwined. Imagine a world where everyone receives a guaranteed basic income, a concept that has been gaining traction in various discussions around economic policies, poverty alleviation, and social welfare. The idea is simple, yet profound. Every individual, regardless of their employment status or financial background, receives a regular, unconditional sum of money from the government. This could transform the way we think about work, employment, and social safety nets. Supporters argue that it could reduce poverty levels significantly, as it would provide a financial foundation, allowing people to meet their basic needs such as food, shelter, and healthcare. With a guaranteed income, individuals might feel empowered to pursue education, start their own businesses, or invest time in creative endeavors, all without the constant pressure of financial insecurity. Furthermore, proponents suggest that this could lead to a more innovative society, as people would have the freedom to explore opportunities without the fear of losing their livelihoods. The potential reduction in stress and anxiety related to financial instability could also lead to improved mental health for many. However, critics raise concerns about the economic feasibility of such a program. They question whether governments could sustain the funding required for a guaranteed basic income, especially in nations with rising debt levels. The debate often centers around how this would be financed, with some suggesting higher taxes on wealthier individuals or corporations, while others warn that this could lead to inflation, diminishing the purchasing power of the basic income. Moreover, there are discussions about how a guaranteed basic income might affect the labor market. Some argue that it could lead to a decrease in motivation to work, while others believe it would actually encourage people to seek employment that is more fulfilling and aligns with their passions, rather than taking jobs purely for financial survival. Additionally, the impact on social dynamics is another point of contention. Would people feel more valued and respected, knowing that their basic needs are met, or would it foster a sense of dependency? When we look at pilot programs and experiments conducted in places like Finland and Canada, the results have been mixed. In Finland, the government provided a basic income to a group of unemployed individuals. The outcome showed that recipients reported higher levels of happiness and well-being, but there was not a significant increase in employment among them. In Canada, a similar program in the town of Dauphin, known as Mincombe, revealed that health outcomes improved and many people used the income to pursue education or improve their living situations. These examples suggest that the effects of a guaranteed basic income can establishing colonies on Mars is a fascinating prospect, and it stirs imaginations about our future as a species, as well as our potential to expand beyond Earth. With advancements in technology, particularly in space travel and habitation, the idea of creating sustainable colonies on the red planet has gained serious attention from scientists, engineers, and space enthusiasts alike. First, let's consider the challenges we would face. Mars, with its thin atmosphere, which is mostly carbon dioxide, and harsh conditions, including extreme temperatures and high radiation levels, poses significant hurdles for human survival. To overcome these obstacles, we would need to develop advanced life support systems that could recycle air and water and create habitats that shield us from radiation while also providing adequate food sources, perhaps through hydroponics or other innovative agricultural techniques. Moreover, the logistics of getting people and materials to Mars are monumental, requiring robust spacecraft capable of carrying humans safely through the vast expanse of space. Companies like SpaceX, with their ambitious plans for the Starship, are already working towards making travel to Mars a reality. Once we establish a presence there, we would need to think about governance, social structures, and the psychological well-being of the colonists, as living in such isolation could be challenging. Would we form new societies with their own rules and norms, or would we try to replicate Earth's systems? On the other hand, the benefits of Mars colonization could be immense. It could serve as a backup location for humanity, ensuring our survival in case of catastrophic events on Earth, such as climate change or asteroid impacts. Additionally, Mars might hold valuable resources, including water ice, which could be crucial for sustaining life and creating fuel for return trips to Earth or for further exploration. The scientific knowledge gained from studying Mars and its geology would also be invaluable, potentially offering insights into the history of our solar system and the possibility of life beyond Earth. Furthermore, a Martian colony could inspire a new era of innovation and collaboration, as nations and private entities work together to achieve a common goal. The endeavor could lead to breakthroughs in technology, medicine, and environmental science. As we learn to adapt to and thrive in a new world, educational and research opportunities would abound, as students and scientists would likely flock to study the unique challenges posed by life on Mars, fostering a new generation of explorers and thinkers. As we ponder the long-term implications of colonizing Mars, ethical considerations come into play. How would we protect the imagine a world where the major powers, like the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom, agree to disarm their nuclear arsenals completely? The implications of such an action would be profound, touching on various aspects of international relations, security, and even global economics. First, we would likely see a significant decrease in the immediate threat of nuclear war, as the very existence of nuclear weapons creates a tense environment where countries must constantly consider the possibility of escalation, leading to a heightened sense of insecurity. Without these weapons, nations might feel more secure, potentially leading to greater diplomatic engagement and a shift towards resolving conflicts through dialogue rather than military might. However, this disarmament could also lead to new challenges. Countries that once felt secure under the nuclear umbrella might feel vulnerable and could seek alternative means to ensure their security. This could lead to a rise in conventional military spending, as nations invest more in their armies, navies, and air forces, trying to compensate for the absence of nuclear deterrence. Additionally, the process of disarming nuclear weapons would require immense trust between nations, something that has been historically difficult to achieve. Just read concerns about nuclear capabilities. Moreover, the geopolitical landscape could shift dramatically. Countries that have relied on nuclear weapons for deterrence might reconsider their alliances, leading to new power dynamics. For example, NATO members may reassess their defense strategies, while countries in volatile regions, such as the Middle East or East Asia, could feel the need to pursue their own nuclear programs to fill the security void left by disarmament. This could spark a new arms race, not with nuclear weapons, but with conventional arms, as nations try to establish a balance of power in a world without nuclear deterrent. The economic implications would also be significant. The nuclear arms industry, which supports millions of jobs worldwide, would face a drastic transformation. Governments might redirect funding from nuclear programs to other areas like education or healthcare, which could stimulate economic growth and innovation in these sectors. However, the transition might not be smooth, as those employed in the nuclear sector could face job losses and the need for retraining. Public opinion would play a vital role in this scenario. Many citizens around the world advocate for nuclear disarmament, believing that a world without nuclear weapons would be a safer one. However, there would likely be concerns about national security. What if we could upload consciousness to a digital platform? This idea, often seen in science fiction, suggests that our thoughts, memories, and feelings could be transferred into a digital realm, allowing us to exist beyond our biological bodies. Imagine a future where, instead of aging or facing physical decline, our consciousness could live on in a virtual environment, free from the limitations of our physical forms. Researchers in fields like neuroscience and artificial intelligence are exploring the potential for such technology, although we are still far from achieving it. The process would likely involve mapping the brain's intricate neural connections, understanding how memories are formed, and deciphering the chemical signals that underpin our thoughts and emotions. However, the implications of uploading consciousness are profound and raise many ethical questions. If a person's consciousness is uploaded, would they still be the same person? Or would they be a copy, a digital version with memories but lacking the essence of the original being? Additionally, who would control this digital consciousness, and what rights would it have? Would it be subject to the same laws as living humans? Or would it exist in a legal grey area? Furthermore, there are concerns about the potential for digital immortality to create a divide between those who can afford such technology and those who cannot, leading to a new form of inequality. The idea of digital consciousness also evokes fears of losing our humanity. If we could live forever in a digital world, would we still appreciate life as we do now? Would experiences, emotions, and relationships hold the same value if they can be endlessly replicated and preserved? Moreover, the concept of consciousness itself is still not fully understood. Philosophers and scientists debate what consciousness truly is and whether it can ever be fully captured and replicated in a digital format. Some technologists argue that the upload process could lead to enhanced cognitive abilities, allowing individuals to process information faster, learn more efficiently, or even communicate telepathically in a virtual environment. Others worry about the potential for hacking or manipulation, where a person's digital consciousness could be altered or erased, raising questions about identity and autonomy. There's also the possibility of creating a digital afterlife, where people could interact with one another in a simulated world, experiencing a different kind of existence entirely. As we explore these ideas, it's essential to consider the philosophical implications of such a possibility. What would it mean for our understanding of life and death? Would the ability to upload consciousness redefine our beliefs about the soul or the essence of being human? If a global pandemic were to lead to permanent changes in society, we would likely witness a profound transformation across various aspects of daily life, economy, and social interactions. The way we work, for instance, could be permanently altered, with remote work becoming a standard practice rather than a temporary solution. Many companies, realizing that their employees can be just as productive from home, might choose to maintain flexible work arrangements, leading to a reduction in commuting and a rise in a more decentralized workforce. This could have a cascading effect on urban planning, as cities might see a shift in population density, with more people opting to live in suburban or rural areas, seeking larger spaces and a different quality of life. Education could also undergo significant changes, with online learning becoming more integrated into traditional education systems. Schools might adopt hybrid models that combine in-person and remote learning, allowing for more personalized education experiences. This could democratize access to resources, as students in remote areas could benefit from online courses and expert instructors from around the globe, breaking down geographical barriers that previously limited their educational opportunities. Healthcare systems might also be reshaped as a result of a pandemic. With a heightened awareness of public health, there could be a stronger emphasis on preventive care, mental health resources, and the importance of vaccination. Telemedicine, which gained popularity during the pandemic, could become a norm, allowing patients to consult with healthcare providers from the comfort of their homes, thereby increasing accessibility for those who may have difficulty visiting clinics in person. Social interactions too would likely evolve. Public spaces might be redesigned to accommodate physical distancing, with more outdoor seating areas, larger parks, and redesigned public transport systems that prioritize hygiene and safety. Additionally, the way we greet one another could change, with handshakes potentially being replaced by other forms of greeting, reflecting a new cultural sensitivity towards personal space and health concerns. The economy might experience a shift toward more sustainable practices, as people become more conscious of the environmental impacts of their choices. The pandemic has highlighted weaknesses in global supply chains, leading to a possible resurgence in local production and consumption. This could foster a greater appreciation for local businesses and encourage communities to support one another, creating a more resilient economic model that prioritizes sustainability and localism. On a technological front, we may see an accelerated adoption of emerging technologies. Automation and artificial intelligence could become more prevalent in various sectors, as companies seek to minimize the risk of disruption from future health crises. This could lead to new job opportunities. Imagine a world where education is free and universally accessible. A radical shift that could transform society in profound ways. In such a scenario, millions of individuals who previously faced barriers due to financial constraints would gain the opportunity to pursue their dreams, whether they wish to learn a new trade, explore the sciences, or delve into the arts. The potential for personal growth and skill development would be limitless, leading to a more educated populace, which is often linked to improved economic conditions and a higher quality of life. With free education, we might see a significant reduction in student debt, which has become a major issue in many countries. Young people would not graduate with the heavy financial burdens that can stifle their career choices and personal lives. Instead, they could focus on what truly matters, learning, growing, and applying their knowledge to contribute to society. This could lead to increased innovation, as more people would have the chance to think creatively and critically, unencumbered by the stress of financial obligations. Moreover, universal access to education could help bridge the gap between different socioeconomic groups, fostering a more equitable society. Individuals from underserved communities who often lack access to quality education, would have the chance to advance their skills and knowledge. This could lead to a more diverse workforce, where different perspectives and ideas flourish, enhancing creativity and problem-solving in various fields. Additionally, education is often linked to better health outcomes. With greater access to knowledge about health and wellness, individuals might make more informed choices, leading to healthier lifestyles and communities. This could reduce healthcare costs and improve overall public health, creating a ripple effect that benefits society as a whole. In the realm of technology, free education could accelerate the development of skills needed for emerging industries, such as artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and biotechnology. As these fields continue to evolve, a well-educated workforce would be essential for driving progress and maintaining competitiveness in the global market. By democratizing education, we could ensure that everyone has a chance to contribute to and benefit from technological advancements. However, the implementation of free education would not come without challenges. Questions would arise about funding, quality, and access. Governments and institutions would need to find sustainable ways to support this initiative, ensuring that the quality of education remains high and that resources are equitably distributed. There could also be concerns about overcrowding in classrooms, as more students seek to take advantage of the opportunities available to them. Despite these challenges, the vision of free and universally accessible imagine a world where all animal species were granted human-like rights, a scenario that raises fascinating questions about ethics, legality, and our relationship with the natural world. In this thought experiment, we could envision a society where animals, from the smallest insects to the largest whales, would have the same legal protections as humans, allowing them to live free from exploitation, harm, and suffering. This shift would necessitate a complete overhaul of many industries, including agriculture, entertainment, and research, as practices like factory farming, animal testing, and the use of animals in circuses would likely become illegal. With animals recognized as sentient beings, society would need to grapple with the moral implications of eating meat, wearing leather, or using animal products in any form, leading to a rise in plant-based diets and cruelty-free alternatives. In such a world, the legal system would have to adapt to the complexities of animal rights. Courts might see cases brought forth by animal advocates on behalf of non-human species, seeking justice for those wronged. And this could lead to the establishment of animal advocates or guardians, similar to child advocates, who would represent the interests of animals in legal matters. There would also be a need for extensive education, as people would have to learn about the rights of different species, understanding their needs and respecting their habitats. This could foster a greater sense of empathy and responsibility towards all living creatures, encouraging people to consider the impact of their actions on the environment and animal welfare. Furthermore, granting human-like rights to animals could lead to significant changes in conservation efforts. With legal protections in place, endangered species could receive more robust safeguarding measures, and habitat destruction could be challenged legally, as animals would have a voice in decisions that affect their survival. This could foster a more sustainable approach to development, where human activities would need to consider the rights of animals and the ecosystems they inhabit. In turn, this might even lead to a resurgence of biodiversity, as species previously threatened by extinction would have a fighting chance, supported by laws that prioritize their existence. However, such a radical change would not come without challenges. The economic implications could be profound, as entire industries would be forced to adapt to these new norms. Farmers, for example, might need to shift from raising livestock to growing crops, and this could lead to economic upheaval, requiring extensive retraining and support for those affected. Additionally, there would be debates about how to navigate coexistence with wild animals, especially in urban areas, as the rights. Imagine a world where language barriers simply vanished thanks to cutting-edge technology. Picture this. You're in a bustling market in a foreign country, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of sounds and sights. Yet instead of feeling lost or isolated, you can communicate effortlessly with the local vendors. This scenario could become a reality with advancements in real-time translation tools, which have already started to change the way we interact. Devices and applications powered by artificial intelligence could translate spoken language instantly, allowing for seamless conversations between people who speak different languages. This would not only enrich travel experiences but also promote global commerce, as businesses could connect with customers and partners from various linguistic backgrounds without concern. Consider the impact on education as well, where students could learn from teachers around the world, regardless of language differences. This would create a more inclusive learning environment, expanding access to knowledge and fostering a greater appreciation for diverse cultures and perspectives. Furthermore, work environments would see a dramatic shift. Companies could hire the best talent from anywhere without the fear of miscommunication due to language differences. Collaboration would flourish as teams composed of individuals from various countries could work together as if they were all speaking the same language. Now, let's not overlook the social implications. When language barriers are removed, people from different backgrounds can connect more easily, fostering understanding and empathy. This could lead to reduced prejudice and a greater sense of community on a global scale, as individuals interact more freely and share their stories without the constraints of language. Imagine the rich tapestry of human experiences that could be woven together as people engage in meaningful dialogues, sharing ideas and traditions that were once lost in translation. However, it's also important to consider the challenges that might arise. While technology can bridge many gaps, there is a risk that it could lead to a homogenization of culture, where unique languages and dialects might fade away as people rely on a common technological solution. This could result in a loss of cultural identity for some communities, as the nuances and beauty of their native languages become diluted. Balancing the benefits of linguistic accessibility with the preservation of cultural heritage will be a critical conversation in this evolving landscape. Additionally, there are technical hurdles to overcome. While we have made great strides in machine translation, nuances in tone, context, and emotion can still be missed, leading to misunderstandings. The subtleties of humor, sarcasm, or regional dialects might not always translate perfectly, which could create awkward situations. Ensuring that climate engineering, also known as geoengineering, is a fascinating concept that has gained traction in recent years, especially as concerns about climate change and its impacts continue to grow. The idea is to deliberately manipulate the Earth's climate system to counteract the effects of global warming. One of the most talked about methods in climate engineering involves controlling weather patterns through various techniques, which could potentially lead to significant changes in how we experience weather. One approach to climate engineering is solar radiation management, or SRM, which aims to reflect a small percentage of the sun's light and heat back into space, thereby cooling the planet. This could be done using techniques such as injecting aerosols into the stratosphere, where they could create a reflective layer that reduces the amount of solar energy reaching the Earth's surface. While some studies suggest that this might help lower global temperatures, the implications for local weather patterns could be profound, potentially disrupting rainfall patterns, altering storm tracks, and affecting ecosystems in unpredictable ways. Another method is cloud seeding, which involves dispersing substances into the atmosphere to encourage cloud formation and precipitation. This technique has been used in various regions to increase rainfall, especially in areas suffering from drought. While cloud seeding can provide short-term relief, it raises questions about the long-term consequences on local climates, as it may lead to changes in precipitation patterns that could benefit some areas while harming others. There is also concern about the ethical implications of altering weather in one region, potentially leading to conflicts over water resources and climate justice. Moreover, The use of climate engineering raises complex questions about governance and responsibility. If a country or corporation were to implement geoengineering techniques, it could have far-reaching impacts on neighboring regions and even the entire planet. This could lead to disputes over who gets to decide how the climate is managed and whether such interventions should be allowed at all. The potential for unintended consequences means that careful consideration and international cooperation would be essential to avoid exacerbating existing climate issues. Like others, climate engineering strategies sound promising. In theory, they're limited by minimum space. The scope of obsessive consumerism would be essential to, for example, the technology needed to inject aerosols into the atmosphere on a large scale does not yet exist, and there are many unknowns regarding the effects of such actions on weather systems and global climate stability. The risk of moral hazard is also a topic of debate. The worry that the prospect of geoengineering might reduce the urgency to reduce greenhouse emissions. Imagine a world where all historical figures, from great leaders to legendary artists, were resurrected, and they could share their thoughts and experiences. Picture walking through a bustling city where you might encounter figures like Cleopatra discussing her reign in ancient Egypt and sharing her insights on leadership and the role of women in power. Nearby you could find Albert Einstein, who, with his wild hair and brilliant mind, would be explaining the intricacies of his theory of relativity in a way that everyone could understand, perhaps even adding a touch of humor to make the complex ideas more relatable. Then, you might overhear a debate between Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., both advocating for peace and equality, exchanging ideas on civil rights movements and nonviolent resistance. Their conversations would spark inspiration in the hearts of those listening as they reflect on the struggles and triumphs of the past, while encouraging people to continue fighting for justice in the present. In a cafe, Leonardo da Vinci could be sketching out new inventions, sharing his thoughts on art, science, and the interconnectedness of disciplines. His ideas could inspire a new generation of inventors and artists, as he discusses how creativity fuels innovation. Imagine the excitement of being able to ask him about the Mona Lisa, or his dream of flight, and hearing firsthand about his creative process and the challenges he faced. As you wander through a park, you might encounter the likes of Jane Austen and Shakespeare, deep in conversation about the evolution of literature. They would share their thoughts on storytelling, character development, and the impact of societal norms on their writing. Austen might offer a witty commentary on modern dating, while Shakespeare could recite sonnets that resonate with contemporary themes, bridging the gap between eras. In a university lecture hall, you could find Socrates engaging students in dialogue, encouraging critical thinking and questioning the status quo. His method of inquiry would challenge everyone to explore deeper philosophical questions about existence, morality, and knowledge, creating an environment where learning becomes a collaborative effort. As the sun sets, you might see a gathering of revolutionary figures, such as Nelson Mandela and Rosa Parks, who would recount their journeys toward freedom and equality. Their stories, filled with courage and resilience, would serve as powerful reminders of the importance of standing up against oppression, inspiring people across generations to act with integrity and bravery. Overall, this imagined scenario would not only be a fascinating blend of history and modernity, but it would also provide a unique opportunity for people. Imagine a world where every human being, regardless of their location or socioeconomic status, has access to advanced technology. This scenario raises fascinating possibilities as we consider how society, education, and even healthcare could transform dramatically. First, think about education. With advanced technology available to everyone, learning could become a truly global endeavor. Students in remote villages could connect with experts around the world, participating in virtual classrooms, accessing vast resources, and collaborating on projects without the barriers of distance. This could lead to a more informed and educated populace, capable of thinking critically and innovatively about the challenges facing our planet. In healthcare, the impact would be equally profound. Advanced diagnostic tools, telemedicine, and wearable health monitors could ensure that even the most isolated individuals receive proper care. Imagine a farmer in a rural area using an app on their smartphone to consult with doctors in real time, receiving personalized health advice, or a child in a developing country accessing life-saving medical information that was previously unavailable to them. This level of access could dramatically reduce health disparities, leading to longer, healthier lives for millions. Economically, the availability of advanced technology could spark a new wave of entrepreneurship. Individuals with innovative ideas could access platforms to launch their products, find funding through crowdfunding, and reach global markets with minimal investment. Small businesses could thrive, creating jobs and boosting local economies. Moreover, automation and artificial intelligence could relieve humans from tedious tasks, allowing them to focus on creative and strategic endeavors that require human insight and emotional intelligence. Socially, the democratization of technology could foster greater understanding and empathy among people from diverse backgrounds. Social media platforms might promote positive interactions, facilitating dialogue and collaboration across cultures, encouraging a shared sense of global citizenship. However, it's also crucial to consider the potential challenges that could arise. With everyone having access to advanced technology, issues such as misinformation, cyberbullying, and privacy concerns could become rampant, necessitating robust systems for education and regulation to safeguard individuals. Additionally, while technology can bridge gaps, it might also create new inequalities if not implemented thoughtfully. For instance, if certain regions or populations cannot maintain or upgrade their technologies, they could fall behind in the global landscape, creating a new divide. Therefore, while the vision of universal access to advanced technology is exciting, it requires careful consideration of its implications, ensuring that the benefits are shared equitably and that everyone can thrive in this new era. The potential for a brighter future hinges on our ability to navigate these. Imagine a world where empathy is not just a learned behavior, but a genetically enhanced trait woven into the very fabric of our DNA. Scientists have long studied the complexities of human emotions and the role that genetics plays in shaping our personality. If we could enhance empathy through genetic modification, it might fundamentally change how we interact with one another, how we resolve conflicts, and even how we approach global challenges like climate change and social justice. By boosting our capacity to understand and share the feelings of others, we could foster a more compassionate society where cooperation and kindness become the norm rather than the exception. In this scenario, individuals with enhanced empathy could potentially experience a deeper connection to others, leading to improved relationships, both personal and professional. Imagine workplaces where colleagues are more attuned to each other's feelings, resulting in a more supportive environment, increased collaboration, and reduced stress. This enhanced ability to understand diverse perspectives could also pave the way for more effective communication, as people become more skilled at recognizing and addressing the emotions behind words. However, the implications of genetically enhancing empathy are not without challenges. For instance, if empathy could be artificially amplified, would it lead to emotional overload? Some experts warn that increased empathy could result in heightened emotional distress, as individuals become more aware of the suffering around them. This could lead to a phenomenon known as compassion fatigue, where the sheer weight of empathy becomes overwhelming, potentially causing people to withdraw or disengage from social issues altogether. Moreover, the ethical considerations surrounding genetic enhancement are profound. If empathy could be engineered, who would have access to this technology? Would it create a divide between those who can afford enhancements and those who cannot? Such disparities could lead to a new form of inequality, where empathy becomes yet another privilege reserved for the wealthy. This raises critical questions about the very nature of empathy itself. If it can be engineered, is it still a genuine human experience? As we explore the possibility of empathy as a genetically enhanced trait, we must also consider how it aligns with our understanding of free will and personal responsibility. Would enhanced empathy lead to better moral decision-making, or might it complicate our ability to make choices based on rational thought? The interplay between genetics and behavior is intricate and not fully understood, suggesting that while we could enhance empathy, the outcomes might be unpredictable. Furthermore, the idea of genetically altering humans for emotional traits opens a Pandora's box of societal implications. How would education systems adapt to individuals with varying levels of empathy? Imagine a world where the concept of death as we know it becomes obsolete. A fascinating thought that stirs the imagination and challenges our understanding of life itself. In this scenario, advances in science and technology could lead to incredible breakthroughs, perhaps through techniques like mind uploading, where our consciousness could be transferred to a digital realm, or through radical advancements in biotechnology, allowing the human body to regenerate indefinitely, thus eliminating aging and its associated decline. If death were no longer a part of human existence, how would society change? The implications would be profound, as individuals could pursue their passions and dreams without the looming fear of mortality, leading to a society where creativity, innovation, and exploration could flourish like never before. However, this raises questions about the value of life and experiences. Would life still hold the same meaning if it were endless? The urgency that often drives human ambition and achievement might diminish, as people could take their time exploring interests with a leisurely pace. But on the flip side, this could lead to stagnation in personal growth and societal progress. Furthermore, consider the environmental impact of an immortal population. Resources could become strained, leading to potential conflicts over space, food, and energy. In such a reality, the social structure would also likely transform dramatically. The concept of family, relationships, and even friendships could evolve into something entirely different. Would love still be as intense if the prospect of losing someone was no longer a concern? Would relationships become more superficial, or would they deepen, as people could spend vast amounts of time together? Another interesting aspect to ponder is the psychological implications of immortality. With unlimited time, individuals might face existential dilemmas, grappling with boredom and the search for meaning in an endless existence. Would mental health challenges become more pronounced, as people find it difficult to remain engaged in a life without end? Moreover, the ethical considerations of living forever would be staggering. Who would have access to these life-extending technologies? Would it be available to everyone, or would it create a divide between the wealthy and the less fortunate? If only a portion of the population could afford to live indefinitely, it might lead to significant social inequalities, resentment, and tension. Culturally, art, literature, and philosophy could take on entirely new dimensions, as creators would explore themes of eternity, existence, and the human experience in ways we can hardly imagine today. Would new genres emerge that reflect this new reality, or would traditional narratives imagine a world where humans possess the extraordinary ability to shapeshift into any form they desire? The implications of such a power would be profound, affecting every aspect of life, from personal identity to social dynamics, to cultural expressions. The ability to change one's appearance at will could lead to new forms of communication, as people could embody different perspectives, experiences, and even species, fostering greater empathy and understanding among individuals. This radical transformation could challenge the very notion of self, as people would constantly navigate the fluidity of their identities, creating a society where labels and categories might lose their significance, leading to a richer tapestry of human experiences, but also potentially causing confusion and identity crises. In a practical sense, shape-shifting could revolutionize many fields, such as medicine, where doctors could temporarily become other beings, gaining unique insights into different physiological systems, or even transforming into animals to better understand wildlife and ecosystems. This ability could open doors to unprecedented forms of exploration, allowing humans to experience the world through the eyes of different creatures, developing a deeper connection to nature. However, with such power, ethical dilemmas would arise, as the boundaries between human and animal, or even between different humans, would blur, leading to questions about consent, responsibility, and the essence of being. In the realm of art and entertainment, shape-shifting would allow for limitless creativity, as artists could physically embody their inspirations, transforming into characters or concepts, and bringing their visions to life in ways that have never been imagined before. The fashion industry might also undergo a radical shift, as individuals could change their attire, or even their physical forms, to express their moods or thoughts, leading to a vibrant, ever-changing landscape of self-expression. However, such fluidity could also create challenges for businesses, as traditional standards of beauty and identity might become obsolete, requiring a complete rethinking of marketing and consumer culture. Socially, the implications of shape-shifting could be both liberating and fraught with complexity. On one hand, it could promote inclusivity, as people would be free to express themselves in ways that align with their true selves, potentially reducing stigma and discrimination based on appearance. On the other hand, it could lead to manipulation and deception, as individuals might use shape-shifting to hide their true identities, creating a world where trust becomes a rare commodity. Relationships, whether personal or professional, could be deeply affected as partners and friends navigate the challenges of discerning authenticity in a world where appearances can be. If the Earth experienced a sudden and complete magnetic pole reversal, it would be a fascinating yet concerning event, as our planet's magnetic field plays a crucial role in protecting us from solar radiation and cosmic rays. During a pole reversal, the magnetic north and south poles would switch places, which has happened many times throughout Earth's history, though the last complete reversal occurred around 7,8,0,000 years ago. And while the process can take thousands of years, a sudden shift could lead to immediate and dramatic changes. Scientists believe that the magnetic field would weaken significantly during a reversal, possibly dropping to as low as 10% of its current strength at certain points. This weakened field could allow increased levels of radiation to reach the Earth's surface, potentially harming living organisms and affecting technologies that rely on magnetic fields. Another interesting aspect of a magnetic pole reversal is the potential impact on animal migration. Many species, such as birds and sea turtles, rely on the Earth's magnetic field for navigation during their long migrations. A sudden change might confuse these animals, leading to disorientation and possibly causing disruptions in breeding patterns, food sourcing, and overall ecosystems. Humans would also need to adapt to the changes in navigation systems, as many technologies, including compasses, rely on magnetic orientation, and this could lead to complications in air travel, maritime navigation, and even in some agricultural practices that depend on precise orientations. Moreover, a magnetic pole reversal could have significant effects on our electrical grids and satellite communications. As the magnetic field weakens, the Earth could become more vulnerable to solar storms, which can damage satellites, disrupt power grids, and affect technology that we depend on daily. This could lead to widespread blackouts, interruptions in communication, and challenges in transportation, as GPS systems might not function correctly during a period of geomagnetic turbulence. Additionally, the increased exposure to cosmic radiation could raise health risks for astronauts in space, as well as increase the likelihood of radiation health issues for people on Earth, particularly at high altitudes or in areas with less atmospheric protection. Interestingly, despite these potential challenges, some scientists argue that life on Earth has shown resilience throughout past magnetic reversals. Fossil records indicate that while there were changes in species distributions and behaviors, life did not cease to exist. Instead, ecosystems evolved and adapted over time, highlighting the remarkable ability of nature to adjust to changing conditions. It is also worth noting that the exact timeline and consequences of a magnetic pole reversal remain a topic of research as scientists continue to study. Imagining a world where the concept of nations is abolished opens up a myriad of possibilities, both intriguing and challenging, as this radical shift could lead to a more unified global society where borders dissolve and people identify more with their shared humanity rather than with national identities. In such a scenario, we might witness the emergence of global governance systems, potentially replacing traditional nation-states, which could lead to a more collaborative approach to issues like climate change, resource distribution, and human rights. Without national boundaries, the movement of people could become vastly easier, fostering cultural exchange and the blending of traditions, as individuals would travel and settle anywhere they choose, creating a truly interconnected world. However, this could also introduce complications, such as the potential for cultural homogenization, where unique traditions and languages might diminish in the face of a dominant global culture. Moreover, the elimination of nations could challenge the existing power structures, as many governments rely on national identity for legitimacy and control. This might lead to power vacuums, as local communities and regions might struggle to find their own footing without the frameworks provided by nations. The question of governance would become paramount, as people would have to develop new systems to ensure justice, security, and social welfare, perhaps leading to decentralized forms of democracy or even new types of governance that prioritize local needs while maintaining a global perspective. Economically, the end of nations could transform trade and labor markets, as businesses would no longer be confined by tariffs and regulations tied to specific countries. This could spur innovation and efficiency, allowing resources to be allocated based on need and availability rather than national interests. However, it could also lead to significant challenges, particularly in terms of managing wealth inequality and ensuring that all individuals have access to basic needs. And the transition could favor those already in advantageous positions. Socially, the absence of nations might foster a sense of global citizenship, where individuals feel a responsibility to not only their local communities, but to people across the world. This could lead to increased awareness and action regarding global issues such as poverty, health crises, and environmental degradation. However, the loss of national identity might also lead to resistance from individuals who feel a strong attachment to their cultural heritage, raising questions about how to balance global unity with respect for local traditions. Curricula. In education, curricula might shift to emphasize global history and interconnectedness, fostering a sense of empathy and understanding among students from diverse backgrounds. This could create a generation more equipped to tackle global challenges collaboratively. On the other, imagine a world where we could accurately predict natural disasters, a world where technology and science work hand in hand to give us advanced warnings about earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis. The implications of such advancements are staggering, as the ability to foresee these events could save countless lives, protect property, and mitigate economic losses. Researchers and scientists are actively exploring various methods to improve prediction accuracy, employing sophisticated models that analyze geological data, weather patterns, and even historical records. For example, scientists are using satellite imagery and machine learning to track storm developments in real time, which allows for more precise forecasts of hurricanes. Moreover, the study of seismic activity has advanced significantly, with networks of sensors being deployed across fault lines to monitor tremors and shifts in the Earth's crust. By analyzing this data, researchers can identify patterns that may indicate an impending earthquake, giving communities valuable time to prepare. In the case of tsunamis, buoys equipped with advanced technology can detect changes in ocean pressure, providing early warnings that can be crucial in saving lives. However, while advancements in technology offer hope, predicting natural disasters is still a complex challenge. The Earth's systems are inherently unpredictable, and while we can identify risks and patterns, pinpointing the exact time and location of an event remains elusive. For instance, despite all the progress in meteorology, hurricanes can still change course unpredictably, which poses a significant challenge for coastal areas. Efforts are underway to improve public awareness and preparedness through educational programs, which encourage communities to develop emergency plans and understand the risks they face. These programs emphasize the importance of having an emergency kit, knowing evacuation routes, and staying informed through reliable weather updates. Additionally, the integration of technology into disaster response systems is evolving, with mobile apps and alert systems designed to keep people informed during emergencies. These tools can provide real-time information, helping individuals make informed decisions about their safety. The ethical implications of predicting natural disasters also raise important questions, such as how to handle the information once it is available, and who should be responsible for disseminating warnings. There's a delicate balance between providing necessary information and avoiding panic among the public. Moreover, the financial aspect of disaster prediction cannot be overlooked, as investing in advanced research and technology can lead to significant savings in disaster response and recovery costs. Governments and organizations are increasingly recognizing the value of proactive measures rather than reactive responses when it comes to natural disasters. In some regions, community-based approaches are being tested. Imagine a world where all humans were able to live in harmony with nature. A world where every action we take is in sync with the rhythms of the earth, where the air is clean, the water is pure, and the land flourishes with life. In such a scenario, urban areas would transform into green spaces, with buildings designed to blend seamlessly into the landscape, featuring vertical gardens and roofs covered in plants, allowing nature to reclaim its rightful place in our cities. Transportation would rely heavily on renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, making it not only efficient but also eco-friendly, reducing our carbon footprint significantly. The way we produce food would also undergo a radical change, with sustainable farming practices becoming the norm, utilizing permaculture techniques and organic methods that respect the soil and foster biodiversity, leading to healthier ecosystems and communities. In this harmonious existence, education would focus on teaching the importance of ecological balance, instilling a deep respect for all living things from a young age, so that future generations would naturally prioritize the health of the planet. Communities would come together to protect local wildlife, engaging in conservation efforts and ensuring that natural habitats are preserved, allowing endangered species to thrive once again. The fashion industry might pivot towards ethical practices, using materials that are biodegradable and sourced sustainably, reducing waste and pollution while promoting a culture of recycling and upcycling. Imagine also how our relationship with technology would evolve, with innovations designed to enhance our connection with nature rather than diminish it. Smart cities could utilize technology to monitor environmental conditions, improving air quality and managing energy consumption more efficiently, while also creating more green spaces for residents to enjoy. Art and culture would reflect this balance, celebrating nature through various forms of expression, encouraging people to find beauty in the natural world and reminding us of our responsibility to protect it. Moreover, the economy would shift towards valuing sustainability over short-term profits, with businesses prioritizing ethical practices and social responsibility. The concept of a circular economy would take hold, where products are designed to be reused, repaired, or recycled, minimizing waste and ensuring that resources are conserved. Health and wellness would also be redefined as people engage in outdoor activities, fostering a deeper connection with their surroundings, leading to improved mental and physical well-being. In this ideal world, cooperation and collaboration would replace competition, with nations working together to tackle global challenges such as climate change, habitat destruction, and biodiversity loss. Initiatives would be launched to restore ecosystems, creating corridors for wildlife and Imagine a world where we could communicate with animals, where we could understand their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. A breakthrough like this could change everything we know about the animal kingdom, and even our relationship with nature. Scientists have long been fascinated by animal communication, from the complex songs of whales to the intricate dances of bees to the diverse vocalizations of birds. Each species possesses its own unique way of expressing itself. If we discovered a method to bridge the gap between human and animal languages, we could unlock a treasure trove of information about their lives, their environments, and their emotions. This new understanding could lead to improved conservation efforts, as we could better gauge the needs of endangered species and address their concerns in ways we never thought possible. Imagine sitting with a dog and being able to ask it about its day, its favorite toy, or what it thinks of the new neighbor. Or envision a scenario where a dolphin could tell us about the changes in its ocean habitat, sharing insights about pollution or the disappearance of fish populations. We could learn how animals perceive the world around them, what they fear, what brings them joy, and perhaps even how they think about us. Furthermore, this newfound ability could deepen the bonds between humans and animals, fostering empathy and understanding that transcend species. However, the implications of such a discovery would be profound, raising ethical questions about how we treat animals and what responsibilities we would have toward them if we could truly understand their perspectives. Would we still keep certain animals in captivity, knowing their thoughts and feelings? Would we be compelled to change our behaviors for their welfare? Additionally, there could be practical applications such as using this communication to train service animals more effectively or to help rescue animals in distress. On a more whimsical note, one can ponder what a conversation with a parrot would be like. These colorful birds are known for their mimicry. But what if they could share their own stories, their own opinions on the humans they interact with, or their take on the world outside their cages? The potential to learn from animals who have lived alongside us for millennia is exciting, and it could reshape our understanding of intelligence and consciousness in the animal kingdom. If we were able to communicate with animals, we might also discover that some species have much more complex emotions and social structures than we currently recognize. For example, elephants are known for their strong familial bonds and mourning rituals, but what if we could? Imagine a world where the education system was completely redesigned from scratch, where traditional classrooms and rigid curriculums were replaced by innovative learning environments tailored to each student's unique needs, strengths, and interests. In this reimagined system, learning could take place in flexible spaces that encourage collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Students may engage in hands-on projects, exploring real-world problems, and working alongside mentors from various fields, fostering a sense of community and connection to their learning. Instead of standardized testing dictating a student's progress, assessments could be ongoing and multifaceted, allowing for a more holistic view of a learner's abilities. This might include self-assessments, peer evaluations, and presentations of work, emphasizing not just what a student knows, but how they apply their knowledge. Technology could play a significant role, with personalized learning platforms that adapt to individual learning paces and styles, making education not just accessible, but also engaging. In this new system, subjects could be integrated, breaking down the traditional barriers of mathematics, science, and art, promoting interdisciplinary learning that mirrors the complexity of the real world. Students might explore themes such as sustainability or social justice, drawing connections between different areas of knowledge and discovering how their education can impact the world around them. Furthermore, there could be a greater emphasis on social-emotional learning, recognizing the importance of mental health and interpersonal skills in a successful education. Students would not only learn academic content, but also how to communicate effectively, work in teams, and develop resilience, preparing them for the challenges they will face in life beyond school. Cultural diversity could be celebrated and integrated into the curriculum, allowing students to learn from various perspectives and fostering a greater appreciation for global citizenship. Schools might partner with local communities, bringing in diverse voices and experiences to enrich the educational experience, creating a sense of belonging and relevance in a student's learning journey. Moreover, the role of teachers could evolve significantly in this reimagined system. Rather than being the sole source of knowledge, educators might become facilitators, guiding students in their exploration and encouraging them to take ownership of their learning. Professional development for teachers could be continuous, ensuring they are equipped with the latest teaching strategies and insights into student development, making them more effective in supporting their students. In this transformed landscape, the focus could shift from grades and rankings to personal growth and lifelong learning, with the understanding that education does not stop at graduation as students develop a love for learning.